Alright, let's talk about one of the most important topic in coding, that is object-oriented programming. Now that might sound like a computer science jargon, but I promise I will make it super simple, easy to understand with examples and analogies. By the end, you will totally get it. So let's start. So this is the Notion documentation that I have created. I will be linking this into the description so that you can access it as well. So OOPS concept. In object-oriented programming, so what is object-oriented programming? So object-oriented programming is a fundamental concept that revolves around class and object. Learning OOPS help us to make the code efficient, modular, and maintainable. What I mean by efficient means you don't have to repeat your code. What do I mean by modular? Modular means your code do a specific thing, doesn't do everything. And maintainable means if the second person comes in and you hand over your code to them, then it will be easier for him to also understand, because you are all following the same practices and standards there. This is one of the best example I can find out. So we have a class as a dog, object as a name, an attribute will be height, weight, and food, and method will be run, play, and eat. Here a class can be a very generic term, right? A class may have, like, class is a dog, right? And when we give it, we're creating an object. When we give a name to it, we are creating an object from it. So name will be an object and attribute will be the height, weight, and food. And what are the method, what it can do? It can play, it can eat, it can run. That all sums up to the methods. So basically methods are like functions in JavaScript, in other programming language as well. And attribute are their properties, and name object is we create an object from the class like a name, and class is a class like a type, which class is a class which have a blueprint for an object. Most of the time you hear that class is a blueprint and object is an instance of the class. So that's a lot of jargons to understand. Let me make it simple. Think of a class like a recipe. It tells the ingredient and the step. An object is the cake that you make using that recipe. So the recipe is the plan and the cake is the real thing you actually eat. That is how we can understand class and concept. And I will also give an example. Let me go through the examples here. So this is a JavaScript example. Here is a class car, which is have a constructor. If you don't know constructor, don't worry about it. It just run whenever we initiate a class. I will come back to it later on. So we have a constructor, we have a start engine, which is a method. So we can create multiple objects. They will have independent memory. So here's an example. Toyota is a brand and Honda is also a brand. Now we can create two objects from a blueprint. We can create objects. So in this example I've created two objects from a same class. First one is the Toyota object and second one is the Honda object. And the model number, who make it? Make and model, make and model. And both of them can independently call the method start engine, which I have defined here. So this was all about class and object. So now we will understand encapsulation with example. So in this example I have created a person object which have a private property called phone number and a name. So in JavaScript we actually create a private property by this syntax. Using this syntax we can create a private property, and without using anything we create a public properties. So in constructor we are actually assigning it the value, and this is whenever this runs whenever you initiate an class. And we have two methods, get phone number and set phone number. I will get back to it later on. So in this line we initiate an object with alias and the phone number, this phone number. So what it does, it will put the name here and the phone number in here. Next line is get phone number, which actually get the phone number here, get us the phone number, which is actually calling this method and getting the phone number. And second method is second line says that p1 dot phone number. So this will give us an error, syntax error, because we cannot access a private property outside a class. So this prevent us from directly manipulating that property inside the person class. And next step is the next line is that p1 dot set phone number. We are actually setting a phone number from inside the class. Okay, so I send a phone number here, and this phone number will be this phone number because it's just like a normal function call. And I will be setting the phone number from inside the class, so this will work fine, and we will get the number here 999. Or you can just copy this code and run wherever you want to. Now let's understand about inheritance. Inheritance is a mechanism that allows the class to inherit the property and method from another class, and that class can be called a superclass or a parent class. The class that is inherited is called a subclass or child class. So it's a very simple concept. Let me just go through the example. So here you can see I have a vehicle class which have a function start and stop. Let me delete this one. Start and stop. And when you extend the class, when you say okay, car class, I want you to be extend vehicle class so that you can have stop and start method. So car class now have 4 methods: start, stop, turn left, turn right. Let's say you want more method. Okay, and now car class also extend by modern class. So modern class will have all the feature of car class, but added feature of auto drive. So we actually have two type of inheritance, that they are multi-level inheritance and multiple inheritance. So this is the example of multi-level inheritance, where you in one class inherit another class and that class is inherited by another class. But in multiple inheritance, there is a single parent but multiple children, like this car class and the bike class, and they will both have start and stop functionality. Bike will also have that method from the vehicle class, and the car class will have the same method from the method class. And you can also implement multi-level here, so you can use the combination of it as well. Now let's understand inheritance with example. I have two classes here, which is vehicle class and the class car class. So vehicle class has a function start method. So vehicle class have a method start, and I want that method in the car as well. So what I will do I will do extend vehicle, and I will add my own implementation also here, which is drive. So whenever I initiate a car object, I will get on that object is start and drive both, and the start is inherited from the vehicle class. This is so easy, and this is very useful because we don't have to write repetitive code, and it saves developer effort as well. Let's move on to polymorphism. Polymorphism means same function name, different behavior depending on the object. This sounds very difficult to understand. Let me go through the key ideas. So what we will have in polymorphism is that we will have same function name or method name, but they have the different behaviors depending on the object. That is polymorphism in JavaScript, or in the common sense as well. So we will move to the code directly. This code might seem complicated at the start, but bear with me, it's simple. I will walk you through with it. I have three class, which is shape, circle and rectangle. Circle and rectangle extend shape and shape class, and both of them have same function, which is area and area. So to understand polymorphism, I have created two objects, circle and rectangular, and added them in an array shapes, so that we can call for each on them. So when we call for each on them and shape, so here the first shape will be circle and the second one will be the rectangle. So we are printing console.log shape.area, which will first one will print the implementation of this one, which whatever values it is. For now it is 78.54, and For rectangular, it will call the shape area and the implementation is different. 24. So for example, here you can see that area, the name, function name is the same, but their own implementation is different. The formula is different here. So this is polymorphism. Having the same method name, but the internal implementation is different. So now let's understand abstraction with example. We have a shape class and we have a circle class. So this is an abstraction class or abstract class that's just defined what are the that a child class going to have. So we are actually going to implement it here. So in the circle class, we extend the shape class and we have a constructor where we get the radius, and we have area with where that returns method pi, and that's where we have area that have some basic formula in that. So in abstraction, user don't actually have to care about how the method have been implemented. So we initiate a circle class and we just get the area. We don't care about what is the formula over there. So that is abstraction in JavaScript. So basically you might get confused some point in the time that I was confused. So there was a confusion between what is encapsulation and what is abstraction. So encapsulation actually means hiding the internal data of an object and restricting direct access to it, as we were doing here. The phone number was not directly accessible from outside the class, and so it actually focus on how data is hidden. We can use private fields, closure and getter setter methods. If you don't understand closure and getter setter methods, I will be making video on them soon. And on the other hand, I have abstraction. They are used to hide the complexity of implementation and showing the only essential features to the user. So actually we were hiding the complexity of finding the area. We are just giving them a feature of a way to calculate the area of circle, right? So what it focus is that what is exposed to the user, what is exposed to the user, and what they need to interact with. So they provide methods and hide the internal details. So that will wrap up this concept. If you have any questions, please comment it out. I will surely answer that. Thank you.